The game has changed forever. Chicago's streets are on fire, alliances are breaking, and the war for power has reached a deadly new level. Just when Tommy thought he knew his enemies, a ghost from the past returns to flip the board. Tariq is back end. The city will never be the same. Chicago is a city built on ambition, greed, and blood. In the world of Power Book 4, Force, there is no room for weakness. Every block is a battlefield, every corner hides danger, and every move decides who lives and who dies. At the end of last season, Tommy Egan stood tall, but standing tall in Chicago doesn't mean standing safe. He fought through betrayal, lost friends, and enemies kept rising, no matter how many bodies hit the ground. But in a city like this, victory is never permanent. Power shifts like shadows, and Tommy knows it. Now the streets are whispering a new name. Tariq St. the son of Ghost. A name that carries history, pain, and danger. Tariq isn't just showing up for a visit, he's stepping back into the game. He's bringing the same fire that once made his father feared and respected. The city feels the tension already. Because if Tariq and Tommy cross paths, the world of Chicago will shake to its core. For Tommy, Chicago was supposed to be his empire, his chance to rule without Ghost's shadow hanging over him. But with Tariq back, that shadow is stronger than ever. Tariq is smart, ruthless, and unpredictable. He's not a kid anymore. He's a man who has survived betrayal, family loss, and the streets of New York. And now, he's ready to carve his name into Chicago's story. But the question is, will he do it with Tommy by his side or against him? The city is already restless. The Irish mob still has unfinished business. Rival crews are plotting in the dark. The police haven't forgotten the chaos Tommy left behind. And now Tariq's return adds a new layer of danger. Every choice Tommy makes will carry double the weight. Every deal will come with a hidden cost. Because Tariq doesn't just bring ambition, he brings history. He brings the ghost of his father. That ghost will not be ignored. Chicago doesn't forgive. Chicago doesn't forget. And in this season, the streets demand more than loyalty. They demand blood. Asterisk when Tariq steps back into the game. It isn't just another player entering the field, it's a storm crashing into an already broken city. Chicago is still bleeding from Tommy's war last season. And now, Tariq's presence feels like gasoline on a fire. He isn't the boy people remember. He has changed. The weight of Ghost's name sits heavy on him, but Tariq isn't here to live in his father's shadow. He's here to prove he can outsmart everyone, friends, enemies, and even Tommy himself. For Tommy, this return cuts deeper than the streets will ever know. Tariq is the reminder of a past he tried to leave behind. A past full of betrayal, lies, and Ghost's legacy. And yet Tariq is also proof of something dangerous, youth mixed with intelligence, hunger mixed with no fear. Tommy has always been a soldier, a fighter who takes what he wants by force. But Tariq plays the long game. He watches. He calculates, and when he strikes, it's with precision. This clash of styles sets up a storm that Chicago may not survive. The question every crew is asking is simple. Will Tommy and Tariq stand side by side? Or will they turn their guns on each other? Because if they join forces, nothing in Chicago can stop them. The Irish mob, the feds, every rival dealer, they would all be crushed under the weight of two names tied to Ghost. But if they collide, the city will become a war zone more violent than ever before. Brother against brother, mentor against the son of his closest friend. Blood against blood. And that's the tension running through the streets. Tariq doesn't step back quietly. His presence changes the rhythm of everything. Deals pause. Enemies rethink their moves. Even Tommy's closest allies begin to wonder, does Tariq's return mean opportunity, or does it mean the end? Because Tariq isn't just walking into Tommy's world, he's rewriting the rules. And once the rules change, there's no going back. The streets feel it. The game feels it. And for Tommy, this is more than a challenge, it's a test of survival. Tariq is back, and Chicago has only one question. Is this the beginning of a powerful alliance, or the start of a deadly rivalry that will bury them? Both, asterisk power, never comes without a price. In Chicago, loyalty is currency, but betrayal is the language everyone speaks when survival is on the line. As Tariq steps into the picture, the fragile balance that Tommy fought to hold together begins to crack. Friends start whispering in shadows. Crews that once stood tall with Tommy now question whether his empire can last. And with Tariq's sharp mind and cold ambition, many are tempted to switch sides before it's too late. Tommy knows this city better than anyone, but even he can't control every move. The Irish mob still circles, waiting for the moment to strike. Old enemies haven't forgotten his blood-soaked path, and the feds are tightening their net. Every deal Tommy makes feels like a trap. Every meeting feels like a setup. And now, with Tariq moving like a ghost through Chicago's alleys, the danger doubles. Because Tariq doesn't just bring power, he brings history. History is enemies of its own. The cops are watching closer than ever. Every drop of blood spilled, every bullet fired, it's all recorded, all building a case that could bring Tommy's empire crashing down. But the law isn't the only enemy. Betrayal grows inside his own circle. Soldier with a hidden agenda. A trusted ally with a secret deal. In the world of force, trust isn't real, it's just another weapon, waiting to be turned against you. And where does Tariq fit into this? That's the question Tommy can't shake. Tariq could be the key to holding it all together, or he could be the spark that burns it all down. The son of Ghost knows how to play both sides, how to wear loyalty like a mask until the time is right. To strike, he learned that from his father, and now the student might outsmart the master, as alliances weaken and suspicion spreads. Chicago turns into a city of ticking clocks. Tommy can't tell friend from foe, and with Tariq back, the game feels like it's slipping out of his hands. Everyone wants a piece of the throne, but only one truth remains: power demands sacrifice. And in this season, the blood price will be higher than ever before. Asterisk, the streets are no longer just dangerous, they're a war zone. Chicago burns with tension as crews prepare for battles that will leave scars forever. Tommy stands in the middle, a man who built his empire through fire and blood. But now the fire is spreading out of control. Tariq's return has shaken everything. Deals collapse, enemies regroup, and every move feels like the last. Gunfire rattles through alleys. Cars chase across bridges at midnight. Betrayal hits harder than bullets, but bullets still fly. Friends become enemies in the blink of an eye, and allies are forced to choose sides they can't escape from. Every second counts, because one mistake doesn't just cost money, it costs lives. Right. And in this season, no one is safe. Tommy knows. Power is never handed over, it's taken. But Tariq plays a different game. While Tommy fights with fists and firepower, Tariq moves like a ghost in the shadows, striking where it hurts the most. Together, they could rewrite the city. Apart, they could destroy it. The choice between alliance and war hangs heavy in the air. And the streets wait for the answer with guns drawn. Chicago itself becomes a character, its skyline hiding secrets. Its streets echoing with betrayal, its corners stained with the blood of men who wanted to rule but couldn't survive. The tension builds like a storm, thunder rolling closer, lightning flashing in every dark corner. The season doesn't promise victory, it promises survival. And then comes the truth. The game doesn't reward loyalty. The game doesn't forgive ambition. The game only respects one thing: blood. Every king must bleed for the crown. This season will decide who has the strength to wear it. Tommy, Tariq, or neither. The final beat hits hard. Voice cuts through the chaos, chilling and unforgettable. This season, power demands blood, and everyone will pay the price. The screen fades. The title slams down. Asterisk. Even when the guns fall silent, one truth refuses to die. The ghost of James St. Patrick still rules these streets. His shadow stretches over every choice, every betrayal, every deal made in dark corners. For Tommy, Ghost was a brother. Tariq, Ghost, was a father. And now, even in death, he binds them both together like chains they can't break. But chains can be broken or turned into weapons. Tariq's every move carries the echo of his father's lessons. Trust no one. Stay 2 steps ahead, and never let emotions cloud the mission. Tommy's every move carries the rage of a man who lost everything, but refuses to bow. Together, they are the past and the future colliding in a storm the city isn't ready for. And it's not just them anymore. Other players step out of the shadows. Hidden enemies make themselves known. Old debts return to be paid in full. Even family isn't safe. Because in this world, family is just another weakness waiting to be exploited. Everyone wants to wear the crown. But crowns in Chicago are forged in fire and they burn whoever dares to touch them. The streets whispered Ghost's name like a warning. Some say Tariq is destined to finish what his father started. Others believe Tommy will crush anyone who tries to rewrite Ghost's legacy. The truth? Chicago doesn't care. Chicago only respects power, and power only survives through blood. This season isn't just about empire. It's about legacy. It's about who carries Ghost's torch and who gets burned trying. Tariq thinks he can rise above his father's sins. Tommy thinks he can erase the past and rule his own way. But the streets have their own plans, or they always demand a price. The final image is clear: blood on the pavement, crown in the shadows, and a city waiting for its king. Because in the end, ghosts never die, they just find new names. Asterisk, the story doesn't end with Tariq's return, it begins with it. The war that's coming will decide more than who runs Chicago. It will decide who survives it. Tommy has built his empire with blood, rage, and raw force. Tariq has sharpened himself into a weapon of patience, strategy, and cold calculation. But empires don't share thrones. And in this season, only one truth stands clear. Someone must fall. The city can feel it coming, like thunder before a storm. Every rival crew sharpens their knives. The Irish mob loads their guns. Law enforcement circles closer, desperate to make one final move. Even those closest to Tommy and Tariq feel the shift. Trust breaks, whispers spread, and everyone picks a side. In the game of power, hesitation is death, and Chicago is a city that eats the weak alive. For Tommy, the war is personal. Every enemy is a reminder of the people he lost, the betrayals he suffered, and the shadow of ghost he's never escaped. For Tariq, the war is destiny. Every step he takes is a chance to carve his own path. To prove that he isn't just Ghost's son, he's his own man, stronger, smarter, and more ruthless. But the streets don't care about destiny. They don't care about legacy. They care about survival. And in the coming storm, survival will mean turning against brothers, sacrificing friends, and spilling more blood than ever before. Tommy and Tariq may think they're in control, but the truth is, darker the game controls them, and the game always wins. The season teases glimpses of chaos to come, gunfire flashing in the night, cars exploding on crowded streets, secrets whispered in dimly lit rooms, betrayals revealed in the worst moments. A final showdown is inevitable. But the question burns. Will it be Tommy against Tariq, or Tommy with Tariq against the world? The answers aren't clear. The future isn't safe. But one promise holds steady in the darkness. The war for Chicago has only just begun. In the quiet after the storm, one truth remains. The streets never forget. Chicago holds the memories of every bullet fired, every deal broken, every soul buried under its skyline. And now, as the city prepares for the bloodshed to come, whispers rise in the darkness. Whispers of betrayal. Whispers of war. Whispers of a name that refuses to stay dead. Ghost. Tommy feels it every time he looks over his shoulder. Tariq feels it every time he makes a move. The past is still alive, haunting them both, pushing them toward choices that could either crown them kings or leave them lying cold on the pavement. Legacy isn't just a word, it's a curse. In Chicago, curses don't fade. They grow stronger. Every player in this game knows the end is coming. Some believe Tommy will finally claim the empire he's fought for, no matter how many bodies it takes. Others believe Tariq will outsmart everyone, rising from his father's ashes to become the man no one expected him to be. But deep down, the streets whisper a darker truth. Maybe neither of them will win. Maybe the game itself will devour them both. The images flash, a gun clutched in trembling hands, blood dripping on concrete, a deal made in shadows, a crown falling into the dirt. The sound of Ghost's voice seems to echo not in flesh, but in memory. And it asks one chilling question. Are you ready to pay the price? The screen fades to black. The heartbeat slows. And then a single final line cuts through the silence, like a blade. Because in the end, power isn't given. It's taken. The title crashes down one last time. Power Book 4. Force. Season 3. Tariq is back. The whisper lingers. The streets stay silent. The audience is left with only one thought. Who will survive, and who will be buried by the game?